In summer of 1988, the mullah's dictatorship in Iran launched a nationwide massacre of the political prisoners. The atrocious crime started with a decree by Khomeini.
Since the treacherous mujahideen have never believed in Islam, they are enemies of God and therefore must be sentenced to death. Showing mercy to those who wage war against God is naivete.
In 1999, in a recorded videotape to the then UN Secretary General, Reza Malek, a former deputy of the Iranian Ministry of Intelligence, said 33,700 political prisoners were executed.
That, in my judgment, was one of the worst atrocities the post-war world has ever seen. The Japanese death marches pale in comparison. Srebrenica was not as hideous as this wicked mass murder of so many thousands of political prisoners. Moharab, enemies of God, they were condemned as.
هیئت مرگ فقط یک معیار داشت. اینکه مجاهدین اسیر هویت سازمانی خودشون رو چی میگن؟ مجاهد یا منافق؟
Many would not believe that even those who had completed their prison terms to be victims in the massacre. But their last words craved on harsh prison walls attested otherwise. July 3rd, 1988. I'm Malihe Qawami. I was taken to the so-called court on 3 p.m. They condemned me to death. Now is 7 p.m. and I'm being taken to be executed.
منیره رجوی فقط به خاطر اینکه خواهر رهبر مقاومت بود با همسر و 2 فرزندش دستگیر شده بود. به 2 سال زندان محکوم شده بود. باید در سال 63 آزاد می شد. اما اونو 4 سال اضافه نگه داشتن و در قتل عام 67 به دار کشیدن.
به نظر من بزرگترین جنایت به جمهوری اسلامی شده و در تاریخ ما رو محکوم میکنه به دست شما انجام شده و شما رو در آینده جزء جنایتکاران تو تاریخ نمی‌ذارن.
Muntaziri's letter to Khomeini, July 31, 1988. While these people have been sentenced by our courts to prison terms, to suddenly execute them without any new activity is a complete disregard for all judicial standards and rulings. If you insist on your decree, then at least issue an order to spare the women with children. The execution of several thousand prisoners in a few days will not have positive repercussions and will not be devoid of mistakes.
Ali Fallahian, former Minister of Intelligence, confesses to the mass executions of the MAK members in the 80s. Regarding the MEK and all those groups who have waged war against God, the ruling is executions, Imam Khomeini has said. Mr. Mousavi, who was the Revolutionary Court's prosecutor, used to say that there was no need for due process. It is meaningless to have due process of law for somebody who is in a war against us. Even if the person is arrested for carrying a banned newspaper, yes, they were part of that organization. They were ready for an operation. Now it is possible that somebody might buy bread for this team or provide other provisions.
همه رو اعدام می‌کردن. زهرا بیژنیار بر اثر ضربه‌های کابل بیناییش مختل شده بود. آفاق دکنما و کاوه نصارا سر گرفته بودند بر اثر شکنجه. حتی ناصر منصوری رو که نخاعش قطع شده بود با برانکارد برای اعدام بردند.
Shushtari, Death Commission member, then appointed as Minister of Justice for 16 years. Mustafa Pur Mohammadi, Intelligence Liaison and Death Commission member, appointed as Ahmadinejad's Interior Minister and Justice Minister during Rouhani's first term. Ibrahim Raisi, Death Commission member and former Deputy Attorney General, subsequently promoted to Attorney General. Mohammad Moghissei, Death Commission operative, currently heads the 28th branch of the so-called Revolutionary Tribunal.
This is a terrible, unpunished crime against humanity.